Hello everyone, Tina here. I hope your day is going lovely. Thanks for joining me. Today, these two items are from Newton's Nook Design's brand new February release. I hope you guys get a chance to head on over there and check it out. A lot of fun items in the release. We're going to be using the Basket Weave Stencil and then this stamp set. It's so cute. There's one solid image in here and it's called Newton's Rainy Day Trio. There are 3 kitty cats dressed up in raincoats and rain boots, and I just think it's an adorable image. So we're going to create a fun just because card today. I'm stamping, since it is larger stamps, I put it in my MISTI and I stamped with Memento ink. I'm going to flip my panel around. I'm going to actually layer the umbrella. So I just need to stamp the umbrella one more time using that same ink. But after my images are stamped, I am going to color them in with Copic markers. Both of these paper and inks are Copic friendly. I did list the colors that I used, but I did speed the coloring up quite a bit just so it shortens the video. But I'll play music when I'm done coloring. I will get you back. Okay, coloring is just about done, and boy, I am having a hard time with this little kitty on the right. So what I ended up doing is coloring, using my colorless blender to lighten it up, his little face up a little bit so you can see his cheeks. And then I was happy with it. I also re-colored in my umbrella. You can see here on the right. I wanted a more pink umbrella versus a red umbrella, so that's why I did that. Okay, we are going to take scissors and fussy cut out our umbrella. We're going to go all the way to the line. I like doing this because we're going to do a little bit of layering, causing, giving us a little dimension. So this is a perfect way to do it. I am going to touch up the edges of my umbrella with my Memento black marker. Just going to clean up those edges. Now for this image, I'm going to bring in my paper trimmer and we're going to trim it down. We're going to cut part of that umbrella off too. I wanted the image itself to be a rectangle, so we're going to chop off a little bit of that umbrella, which is no big deal because we're going to end up replacing it with the colored in umbrella. Now we're going to do a little masking. So I have a piece of masking paper. I put it in my MISTI. We're going to ink up our image. I'm not worried about the umbrella, just the three kitties. We're going to stamp that on some masking paper, and then I'll use my scissors and we'll fussy cut this image out. And we are going to use our stencil in the background. Now the Basket Weave Stencil is brand new. It's part of the February release. Love this stencil, but it's great for spring cards, Easter cards, floral cards, but I thought it'd be fun to create a background with it. I'm going to remove the release paper off of my mask and we'll place it over our little kitties here. And once we have our mask adhered, I did add pixie spray behind my Basket Weave stencil. We'll just line this up, cover our image here. Lovely. Okay, here's our Basket Weave stencil that I sprayed the reverse side with pixie spray, and I'm going to bring in my oxide inks. I'm actually going to use two different colors. I do want to create a ground for my kitties, so I used some of my electric tape and masked off about 1/2 inch from the bottom of my panel here. I placed my stencil on top, and then we're going to bring in my inks. I'm going to use Vintage Photo and a blending brush and just go over my image. Very easy to do. This makes a very nice brick background too, guys. It was a perfect scale too for these little kitty cats. Now I wanted to add a little gradient and shading, so I'm bringing in H Mahogany, and I'm basically just going over the edges, the left and right and the top. I'm kind of creating like a little halo of color. I like doing this with the brick background, so it just makes your image stand out a little bit more. Now I am going to remove my stencil, and you can see I have a lot of white area in the background. I'm going to tone it down with another Distress Oxide ink. This is Pumice Stone. I'm just going to use my blending brush and lightly go over the background. I'm keeping my stencil on there. My little umbrella wants to lift up there, so I got to keep holding it down. That's the handle of my umbrella there. But I'm going to add a little bit of the Pumice Stone, toning that color down. I'll remove my tape off the bottom, and then I'm going to add some of the Pumice Stone on the bottom area too. This is going to be a ground for my kitties, almost like a cement, and it's just going to take away from the white of my background. Okay, now I'm going to do a little this is the neat thing to do, guys, and very, very easy. If you want to add a little shading to your kitty cats, I'm just taking my Vintage Photo and my blending brush and adding a little bit of color below each kitty. Now this works too because I'm going to be adding glossy accents as little rain puddles, and so when you add the glossy accents, it just creates a real watery, neat, watery, shadowy effect. So I removed my mask, and there we have our little background. It looks like our kitties are standing behind a brick wall. Or not behind, I'm sorry, in front of a brick wall. I just think it looks so cute. Now this is my card base here. It's a standard A2 size card base. I went ahead and used my Distress Oxide in Tumbled Glass. I added a little cloud background with the Newton's Nook cloud stencil, and then I also used the raindrop stencil and added a little bit of raindrops in the background. I'm going to go ahead and pop up my umbrella and add that, And then I thought my wall was missing just a little something, so I'm going to create a cap for my wall. I'm just taking my vintage photo and adding a little bit of color on the bottom of this piece of cardstock here. I'm going to trim this down to a 1/2 inch size strip. Before I trim it though, I do want to darken it up a bit. I'm just using the ink that's left over from my aged mahogany brush. Now, I went ahead and added that to the very top of my brick wall, and I was much happier with the outcome. But I didn't like the way it looked on my my portrait card, so we might flip that around here. I'm going to go ahead and add my glossy accents to the top of the hats of the little kitties, and then also I'm going to add some raindrops to the umbrella. Raindrops are like tear-shaped drops, and then also some dots in my background just to make it look a little shiny. And I put glossy accents on my rain boots also. In the close-ups you'll see the shadow area below the kitties. I added some puddles with glossy accents also. Here's where I'm deciding to change the style of my card from a portrait to a landscape. So I grabbed another card base. I'll just use that card base for another card, but I do want to get a little bit of blue in my background. I think my sentiment's going to fit perfectly on that top right corner. But I'm bringing back in my cloud stencil and my tumbled glass oxide ink, and we're going to do a little bit of shading on our card base. I'm just shifting my stencil so I have different cloudy backgrounds, and I'm keeping it very soft. If you want to go a little bit darker and use maybe a broken china, I think you can do that, but I kept tumbled glass because it's very, very soft. It's almost hard to see in the photos, but it's there in real life. Now I'm going to add adhesive to my card base. Since I did a step backwards and put glossy accent on my panel first, I'm going to go ahead and place my panel in the center, which I did pop up with foam adhesive, guys. And then I did, again, I have that glossy accents drying. Now we're going to stamp our sentiment. For this card I chose Meowing in the Rain. And I think that's so cute. I've actually never watched the movie Singing in the Rain. I need to do that. But I thought Meowing in the Rain was just adorable. I stamped it on black cardstock. We're going to add white embossing powder, and then I'll go ahead and block it off after it's all melted. And we're going to flip over our little sentiment, pop it up with some foam adhesive, and place that in that top right corner. Now I did add some of the music notes that are in the stamp set. There's actually music notes and raindrops. I added them just below my sentiment and then to the right of my card front. But that's my card for today, guys, using a couple of the items. The Basket Weave Stencil, show you a little different way to use that, and also Newton's Rainy Day Trio stamp set, part of the new February release. Hope you get a chance to check it out. Have a lovely day. Thank you so much for stopping by. We'll see you again real soon, guys. Bye-bye.